The world abounds in change through man's ability.
Bucks on mine.
Man, I wish that was all I spent on chairs.
I'm sorry, Doug, but I farted on your couch.
That's alright, I fart on it all the time. I've done way worse things to that couch. I went all JD Vance on it just before you got here. Which apparently, did you know he killed the Pope?
Yeah, I did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you did.
And did you hear we have a new Pope?
Yeah.
I did.
Did you hear he's American?
Yeah.
From Chicago.
She's a Chicago Pope.
Duh, Pope.
I think the best take I've seen on it so far was somebody said, I thought that the state of pizza discourse was such that a Chicagoite was never allowed to set foot in Italy. And they're like, technically Vatican City is its own country,
its own
so
country,
as long
yeah.
as they like airlift him in, he's good.
How young is that guy?
I think he's in his 70s.
69?
Is he?
Uh,
He's pretty old, but
Yeah.
everybody was like, he seems a little young to be the Pope.
yeah, right. Are we sure that 70-year-old man?
I think they just don't want to deal with the same Pope for very long. That's my theory on it.
Like, I feel like if you're picking a 69-year-old for a pope, you're trying to bank on at least 15 years.
I guess if he is the Pope, he's getting like real good medical care.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I mean, this last one only died after J.D. Vance got to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Fawlcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Ken.
I'm Doug, and I'm going to be the future director of J.D. Vance's biopic, Fatal Mediocrity.
Gone with the Pope. 2.
And it's just a biopic of J.D. Vance. Oh my god.
Man. I remember when you tracked down Gone with the Pope.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
I couldn't
not
watch
great.
it. I know. I was like, oh, that sounds amazing, and I couldn't come over to watch it. You're like, don't watch it. It's terrible.
Sam was fucking drunk off his ass before the movie even started.
That did happen.
He'd been talking about 7, and he just randomly screamed like, "What's in the box?"
That he actually like basically stopped drinking after that incident.
Really?
Yeah. He rarely drinks alcohol these days. I think that was his come to Jesus moment. Or maybe come to the Pope, I don't know.
Yeah. That's
Come
not, I
to
mean,
Gone with the
that's
Pope.
not too bad of a one to have. If it's just like, you got belligerent with your friends watching a bad movie.
Loud and rowdy, watching a shitty Lost B movie.
Ooh, better rein this in.
Just scream the last line of 7.
What would you call Gone with the Pope? How would you categorize that movie? It's not really like a B picture. It's more like an exploitation film.
I was gonna say that's like a
That's what
exploitation mob.
But what kind of exploitation is it?
What are they exploiting?
Is it
Tax
Pope's,
loophole
is
to
it
launder money.
is it Pope exploitation?
I guess so.
Catholic-sploitation?
No, because nunsploitation is its own thing.
Nunsploitation is its own thing, but
But
that
the rest
movie
of
wasn't about nuns.
Yeah, but the rest you've got the rest of Catholicism to exploit.
How interested would I be in nunsploitation?
Some of it.
Some are pretty. Some are fun if you're like, wow, this is really like sacrilegious. Like,
Do you have a thing for women in religious vestments?
Oh, there was that Aubrey Plaza movie.
There was. I didn't watch that one though.
The Littlest Hours? The Little Hours?
Little Hours.
Hmm.
I watched.
I never saw that either.
Let's see, what nunsploitation?
to,
I
though.
watched a couple. I watched Demonia. That's a Fulci nunsploitation.
So it got a little sexy, but like not.
It wasn't not. Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say, is nunsploitation them fucking or shooting guns?
it's fucking and
And shooting guns?
not so much fucking and doing demon shit.
Fucking and hanging out.
Yeah, yeah. It's not.
Netflix and fuck with nuns.
There, like, I think there are some sexy nunsploitation movies, but most of it's just like shocking because it's
They're
satanic
doing
stuff.
naughty stuff.
Like, Demonia was like a woman. If I even remember, I mean, it's a Fulci movie, so whatever. But I watched it, I think, this past year. This lady, or this nun, has a baby, and the priest throws it in boiling water.
Yeah, because that's a no-no.
Yeah, that's one does.
I mean,
But he didn't-
I think both of those things are probably...
Yeah, he didn't die. I think he becomes like a.
I'm pretty sure they boil babies in the Bible sometimes.
Yeah, I think they do.
Just
Sometimes.
saying.
Like I said, sometimes.
Sometimes. Not all the time.
Like, not every time
It's
you
not
read.
chock full of boiling
It's one of the
babies.
craziest things about the Bible. It's not the same. You never know. It's just that section of what they did with the baby. It changes. It's wild.
It's weird because like you go to church and they only teach you about certain parts.
Yeah.
And you ever wonder what's that chapter in between the two chapters in Deuteronomy your preacher's always talking about?
Yeah.
That's where they boil the babies. Sorry. Maybe you should read your book. That's in there.
Oh, I mean, it's less calories than if you fry them.
As long as you don't boil it in its own mother's milk. That's a specific no-no.
Well, it takes forever to get the milk.
Yeah, that's true. We
The
don't,
longer it takes you to get, the bigger the baby gets.
human titties don't make all that much milk. Yeah, that's a good point. Hadn't considered that
No.
logistical aspect of boiling a baby.
Oh, God. Remember in, like, 98, 99, 2000 when dead baby jokes were everything?
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like, okay, guys. Like, it's not funny because we all know what your punchline is. And now we're all right back to it, where it's like, now,
I was just thinking,
now we're actually
have
laughing.
we really come full circle?
I don't, well, like, I feel like back then it was like, okay, this isn't funny because I already know what the punchline is.
We made dead baby jokes after they were cool.
Yeah. After they were long gone.
What's the difference between a truck full of dead babies and a truck full of bowling balls? You can't unload a truck full of bowling balls with a pitchfork.
Yeah, see? Oh, how shocking.
Well, just
Well,
saying.
I gotta find a new joke of the week now. Thanks a lot, Doug.
What's the difference between a pile of dead
He
babies?
remembers them.
What's the difference between a pile of dead babies and a BMW? I don't have a BMW in my garage.
Yeah, see? Perfect. Oh, yeah.
Also don't have a garage, but that's beside the point.
I have neither.
Yeah, you had to bring it up.
Yep. Well, it's always like the same fucking guy wearing eyeliner coming up, except for Doug. Doug was not that
JD
good.
Vance.
Yeah, it was some JD Vance looking motherfucker coming up to you, giggling like Beavis and talking about dead babies. It's all the same.
Do you think that's how he got on the Pope's bad side so quickly? He just walked up and started telling dead baby jokes.
Oh, man.
Afterwards, the Pope's doing a press conference, and he's like,
I'm
that
out.
guy's an asshole.
I'm out. I just
I
fuck
don't
it.
even want to
I'm
live
done.
in this
Yeah, I'm
world
done.
anymore.
I'm
that
done.
guy's technically the vice president
Yeah,
of the
that guy
United
sucked.
States.
Doug's gonna go to sleep tonight and have a dream of like JD Vance in the Red Room.
Like
Those jokes
dancing,
you love are coming back.
he's doing the little dance that Anthem of the place does. Talking backwards and shit. Hell yeah, I hope I have that dream tonight.
Oh, man, that'd be amazing.
I'll let y'all know.
What if you did have a Red Room dream? Like, how would you react? And it's it's like vivid enough that like you wake up and you're like, wow, fuck.
I don't think it would affect me all that much.
Yeah.
I've had so much more fucked up dreams than that like have like affected me to this day. That I don't think that a dream based on Twin Peaks would faze
if
me
you had
in the
if you had a
slightest.
Red Room dream, but it was also lucid, and you're like, what the fuck's behind these curtains? Because that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm patting the dude on the head, and then I'm opening up the curtains.
Yeah.
David Lynch yelling cut.
Hey, remember how the tall guy in there died, and they just replaced him with a tree?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we had a conversation, not us, but like me and like Casey and a few other people had a conversation recently about David Lynch. And it was the context was I think we were talking about Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
No, we were talking about some other David Lynch thing, but somebody had made like a joke, and they were like, I guess that wouldn't fit because like that character is completely different than like that's not what that character would do. And I'm like, David Lynch was never a huge stickler for character continuity. One of the characters from seasons 1 and 2 of Twin Peaks is a tree in season 3. Just saying, he's a tree now. There was no explanation for this.
I've never rewatched The Return.
I never finished watching it.
Oh, I did.
That one episode in the middle, it was like episode 8.
The one that freaked all the dogs out? The black and white one?
The black and white one, yeah.
Yeah, there. Although
I don't know about the dogs because I didn't have any dogs.
Yeah,
at the time,
no,
but
it was like a whole fucking thing.
it freaked me out.
Where like dogs were going, including Utley at the time, like dogs were going crazy because all the weird noises and shit in that.
Oh my God.
that show, like
Yeah. Yeah, no, it got to that point, and Casey and I just kind of looked at each other like, I think I need a break from Twin
Yeah.
Peaks. And we just never went back.
I watched it. I mean, I watched The Return as it aired. I never rewatched. I think I've rewatched the first season since.
The first season of Twin Peaks is what you really need to
Yeah.
see. The first season and maybe the first like handful of episodes.
Yeah,
of
until
season 2.
once it's revealed.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, I do feel if you stick around for those weird Black Lodge episodes, there's some really evocative stuff in there that just doesn't land. That's really cool, like the Black Lodge stuff. I love that idea. It just didn't stick the landing whatsoever. And, you know, considering the movies I watch a lot of the time, like, I'm able to pull, like, a good idea out of a bad thing.
Uh-huh.
and enjoy
And also,
it for
like,
that.
for somebody who enjoys the kind of movies that we tend to watch, like, you don't have to completely stick the landing.
No, just try.
Yeah.
Just try. If I can see what
make
you're
the attempt.
Yeah, if I can see what you're going for, I'll give you plenty of points.
But that's not always the case with David
no,
Lynch.
not at all.
Bless him. Missed the guy already. He seemed like a super cool dude. But yeah, no, I didn't know what the fuck he was going for half the time. I don't think we were supposed
Like
to
Blue
know.
Velvet, I don't know what the fuck that movie's about. I got no clue.
It was kind of funny because Casey made Abby and her husband Preston watch Twin Peaks because they had never seen it, and she's like, "Oh, like you love a bunch of shit that was heavily influenced by Twin Peaks. You're gonna have an even better appreciation for those things once you watch Twin Peaks." And also, it's worth watching because it's good for the most part. But like they got to the end of season 2, and they were talking about like how for a little bit the show seemed to be getting kind of normal, and then it got like really weird again all of a sudden. And she was like, "Yeah, that's because David Lynch left the show for a little while and then came back." And they were like, "Oh, okay, so like that's what people mean when they talk about things being David Lynchian and stuff like that." And she's like, "No, it's not. That's the network TV version of what people mean when they say that. That's why I don't know that you need to see season 3.
Yeah, that was exactly what he wanted to make.
They recognized that they needed his influence in season 2. But for season 3, he didn't even let the network execs see what he had made until it was released. So, like, that's what happens when he can do whatever the fuck he wants to.
Which makes me want to watch it.
It's definitely very, very interesting. It's just interesting in a way that pissed me off a little bit. Because you watch season 3 of Twin Peaks wanting to know what happened
Yes.
to your favorite characters from season 2 of Twin Peaks, and you don't find out. Not in any comprehensible way. Unless the second half of the season clears anything up. But
You
from what I
do in like the
understand-
last 5 minutes. You
Yeah?
find out. Well,
The last 5
it's like the
minutes?
last 5 to 10 minutes of the last episode. You find out what fate befalls some of the characters.
Oh my god.
You find out in the last the whole Coop and Dark Coop and all that doesn't get resolved until the very, very, very fucking end.
So fucking Smash Brothers.
And then it's not at all. It's like a out of the frying pan into the fire kind of. It's like things are way weirder.
So if David Lynch had miraculously managed to live another 20 years, we might be getting a season 4.
I mean, it's definitely a cliffhanger, but it's also like, nah, I don't need it.
Son of a bitch bastard. And he took the secret of the Eraserhead baby with him, too.
I think it's more like, I don't know that I don't know what he said about doing another season of it, but I think it was just simply, I'm going to leave this on another cliffhanger, and you're going to deal with it.
I liked that 25 years of people being like, why did that end on a cliffhanger?
Yeah.
I want it to continue, but I also want to do more of the show.
Yeah. I don't know if he actually... But then, like, Log Lady died.
Oh, spoilers.
Well, she died before it aired. That's why they got her, like, on her deathbed to shoot her scenes in The Return.
Oh.
And then...
Wow, they actually filmed her dying. Like, not like the moment of death.
Like
but-
Sig... And she did much better than when Rob Zombie got Sid Haig on his deathbed to be in that shitty... Fuck, that movie was bad. That new what is it called? The third Devil's Reject? 3 from Hell.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, it was so fucking infuriating.
I think I downloaded it just because I had the first 2 on the Plex.
It's so... I know.
That's why it's on mine.
Yeah, it is. It
still
was so ridiculous.
I love that all 3 of us
Did not-
have that movie on our Plex. One of us has seen it and hated it, and the other 2 didn't bother to
Yeah.
watch it.
I didn't really care for the first one. I love the soundtrack of the first one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I liked the second one.
I didn't watch the second one because I hated the first one so much.
Wait, the first one is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and the second one is more Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1. Have you seen Texas 2?
No, and you
Okay.
told me to because
Yeah.
you said that they get goofy and enjoyable.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess goofy's the wrong word for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but
Yeah, it's
yeah.
I rewatched. I think I rewatched all 3 of them. Well, I rewatched the first 2 in anticipation of watching the third one Halloween season, maybe. The first one isn't good. I feel
First
like
Devil's Reject?
House of a Thousand
Or
Corpses.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, it's not good, and it's not a good rewatch. But like, I'm like, you know what? A supercut of this would be just fine. Like, there's some really cool stuff here, but man, I don't like watching this. I don't like that Rob Zombie has time to put the stuff in between the cool shots. Like, get somebody else to do that.
Keep him busy with the cool
Yeah,
shots.
like just make music videos.
Have him be the second unit director.
Yeah. No,
Maybe Rob Zombie was born
you know
to
what?
be a second
I
unit
think
director.
he needs a second unit director because second unit handles the boring stuff.
okay, yeah, and then the
And
big
his
cool
boring stuff
shots.
is fucking terrible.
Okay, yeah.
And he's only just like him make cool stuff, but give him a second unit writer where he doesn't have any influence on what the other person does to stitch it all together. That would be interesting.
You don't even have to give Rob Zombie a script for the cool stuff. Just have him film whatever he wants and then have somebody else build a movie around it. It would probably be better.
It's astounding that he's made a good movie.
Did he?
Has he?
I mean, Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, okay. I did just say I like
Yeah,
I guess I
but
do need to see that.
I don't know that I'd really... Yeah, I don't know. What all has he done? He did that trilogy. He did that... Did he do the Monsters movie?
Yes. That came out. I heard that was trash.
That's what I heard.
He did the Lords of Salem. Was that it?
Mm-hmm.
With his wife. I made it about 20 minutes into that, and I was like, I can't stand her.
Ooh.
I thought I couldn't stand her character from those movies. No, it's her. And then he did 31, which was dog shit. And then he did the Halloween movies, which were
Yeah,
really
Halloween.
hard. So he's done a lot of stuff, and only one of them was enjoyable.
They did give him an awful lot of, like, big IPs. Like, not necessarily ones that they were doing anything good with recently,
I think
but
he paid considerably to make Monsters.
really,
I think he had a lot to do with actually getting that made. Like, nobody said, hey, we want to make a Monsters
Oh,
movie.
hell no.
It was like, I want to do this. Who do I need to...
Because they already
Blow.
did a Monsters movie way after the fact in, like, the 90s, didn't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
Because Adam's
Grandpa
was
was
doing
still
so
alive.
well.
Yeah.
Oh, Grandpa was still alive?
Yeah. Because remember, he was in Gremlins.
Shit. Yeah.
Grandpa was a John Gotti guy.
Was he?
Yeah. he wasn't a John Gotti, like, mobster, but I remember seeing interviews with him during, like, the John Gotti stuff, where he was very pro Gotti. So,
Wow. I want to watch a biopic on Grandpa Munster.
Yeah, right?
Al Lewis.
Yeah.
I remember there was a music video on the Terra Firma DVD. I forget who did the song, but it was called, like, Freak of the Week. And one of the clips in it was like, Freak of the Week. Yeah, are you a freak? Freak of the week, baby. Tell me, are you a freak? And
I remember that.
one of the clips is Al Lewis, fucking decrepit old Al Lewis, with a cigar, watching some naked bitches just throw it back.
Wow. I would tell you, I got Casey to watch Romeo and Juliet and Terra Firma.
No.
I was
think we
like,
talked
if you
about
want to
that.
watch a trauma movie,
These
these are the ones to watch.
Yeah, I would agree.
And after we were done watching them, both times, she's like, this was amazing. Why didn't you show me this before? And that was when I knew that someday
That she
would
needed a
kill me.
lobotomy.
That's when I knew there was something seriously wrong with her. And I thought there might be a chance she'd actually agree to marry me.
I better marry this one and keep an eye on her.
Right. She probably thought the exact same thing about me.
Hey, I got a new video release recently. Home video release.
Uh-huh.
This home video release does not need to exist.
What's that?
4K UHD of American movie
What?
with Coven, with a restored Coven on the disc.
Wait a minute. They did a 4K restoration of a movie that was intended to be released only on VHS and did not sell the amount of copies on VHS that he was trying to sell, which was not a large number.
That was like... it was on the board, right? It was like 7,000 or some shit, right?
Sorry, I didn't mean to erase that. But you get the idea.
Yep. 4K HDR treatment. I was like, you know what? I'm in for a penny, in for a pound already. So
It is an amazing
This one's got
film.
Coven. Yeah, I almost said COVID. This one's got Coven, and it's
Oh, they should have done this
only
like
$14. I'm in.
they should have done the
All right,
Coven
14
restoration.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was not.
They should have done the Coven restoration 6 years ago, so they could call it COVID-19.
That would have been smart.
I guess they didn't know that was going to be a
Sounds
thing
like
at that
Oven,
point, though. Yeah, we saw that at the Mahoning. There was
Yeah.
a double feature with that documentary about the Mahoning Drive-In. That was fucking cool.
That's a cool way to see it.
They showed a lot of horror trailers too.
Yeah. Speaking of events, I went to an event since we last recorded. Talked about it before I left last time. Went to a show,
Oh yeah,
a punk show,
Yeah.
a Christian punk show.
How'd that go?
It was all right. Not regretful.
Okay.
Goaty Hook and the Huntingtons, just 2 bands, which was fucking amazing.
I could only imagine the openers they'd get for that show in 2025.
Right. Both bands are really they played really well. Huntington's played a little slow, it seemed. A lot of old dudes there. It's all old dudes.
Yeah.
And it's
There's not a lot of kids going around today rocking Goaty Hook.
and like my friend Jamie that was in the band with, he was there with he brought his boys and his wife to see it.
Okay.
I only talked to them for a couple minutes because they were up on the balcony. I was like, no, if I'm here, I'm going to be down here.
Mm.
And since everybody's like fucking 40 and above, everybody's so respectful. You just say like, "Hey, excuse me," and they let you get up for it. It was really nice, very pleasant environment.
Pardon me, may I mosh into you for a moment?
It was so pleasant.
I have to say that's been my experience at most punk shows, though. Like people get a little bit rowdy, but like
The worst.
everybody's always generally
The worst
nice.
is metal.
Not everybody.
The
But
worst across the board has been metal crowds. They're
Yeah.
fucking atrocious to be in anywhere but the back.
I went to some festival in Camden years and years ago, and it was all metal shit. And yeah, no,
Yep.
that wasn't a good
Danzig
time.
was fucking awful every time we were in the crowd. I specifically remember when we saw him play with Doyle, and we're standing there waiting for him, do his 45-minute take a bath before he comes out on stage or whatever the fuck he does.
Right.
And this dude in front of me goes like, "Oh, I'm so hyped." This was like 5 minutes into the 45-minute wait. I'm gonna kill every motherfucker in here. And this dude's massive. I'm like, fuck, I'm a motherfucker, and I'm in here. I remember getting like.
Fuck, I'm a motherfucker.
I got hit
He's
hard.
talking about me.
I got turned sideways and then moved vertically,
Yeah.
and I saw Rob through the crowd. I was like, ah! It was awful. Metallica was the worst crowd experience I've ever been in.
I can believe that.
That was awful. It was nothing but people just clawing their way to get to your spot.
You've never been to see Slayer, though, have
And
you?
like,
I bet that's better.
Yeah?
Eh.
I imagine, especially with like the crowd that Metallica draws in 2025.
Yeah, yeah. That's got to be awful.
That's true. I guess Slayer fans are sort of... I hate to say it, but Slayer's a little more mainstream than Metallica these days.
Slayer is headlining.
Yeah, they're
Hershey
at-
Park Stadium.
They're at the stadium.
Oh,
in
damn.
September.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not going to go to that.
No.
They're with Exodus, Power Trip. I think there's like 2 other big metal bands.
Yeah.
I forget who they are.
Is Damian Priest?
And Damian Priest, for some reason,
Yeah, like,
is
yeah, he's
hosting
like
the
hosting a bunch of Slayer shows because Kerry King does his entrance. He's a wrestler, does his entrance music.
Interesting.
So he's like, yeah, he's like hosting the evening.
Why not?
Whatever.
Give the guy something to do. He seems happy.
Who the fuck are they playing with?
Could you imagine sitting through a whole Exodus set?
No. I could not.
No disrespect to Exodus fans, but those guys have to be like Pope age now, right?
Hoping. They were Cardinals. They'd be in the running.
Suicidal.
Is that like a flag?
No, that's
Nothing to do with suicidal
I
tendencies?
I guess suicidal. It is suicidal tendencies. I just said suicidal.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a thing where it's like we're Black Flag and we're Flag, and
But I mean, I think they've got like 2 members that have been in the band
Yeah.
for longer than 5 years. Knocked Loose, Suicidal, Power Trip, Exodus, of course Slayer, and I can't make out this other name.
that's the good band. That's the real shit right there.
Yeah, I can't make out the other name.
Speaking of fucking leather chairs, I saw a meme that was like, this band fucking rips, and it was just somebody's chair that was leather chair that was all tore up. Looked like a metal logo.
Cavalera. KSAD. So the Sepultura guys.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
So it's actually
That's
like
a pretty stacked lineup. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say if that's your thing, it's a pretty stacked lineup.
Sure. Like, I bet it's going to be great for the people who want to see it.
Yeah, right. I would not.
Power
They're,
Trip just makes me think about Monster Magnet. I'd see them at Hershey. I don't think they'd play Hershey.
I think Power Trip's the best band on that bill.
Yeah?
Oh. Yeah, you know what? I'd even take them over Suicidal.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I should check them out then.
getting out of that parking lot, the Ramones are going to have to come back for me to go to a show there again. Like, Foo Fighters are great. I would not go through that again. The weather was like perfect. Well, not perfect. It was like bearable for July, a hot day in July. It really wasn't that bad. But my God, getting out of that parking lot, I wanted to shoot Dave Grohl.
I have a couple
for even daring to come to Hershey. It was so bad.
Back when Championship, after they left the first location, but when they were down in, I guess, Lemoyne, like right across the bridge.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they had this Young Blood Records Fest, and I went to that, and one of the headlining bands there was Iron Age, and they were from Texas. And I had a shirt on for a Texas band, Spasm 151. And now Power Trip's also from Texas. And some of the Power Trip guys were like roadieing with
Neat.
Iron Age. Because, I mean, this was like before Power Trip. This was when they were just all like hardcore kids.
Okay.
But the guy, he like saw my shirt. And he was so fucking pumped, and he like grabbed me, and he had to take me and show all the Texas guys. Look, this guy's got a fucking Spasm shirt on.
And I'm just picturing a bunch of cowboys spitting into the spittoon.
So you like Spasm, do you, boy?
Yeah, their singer died a couple years ago, and then they just kind of broke up. Or I guess they did. I don't know.
We were
if
all
they
having a
broke up,
great
they just
time,
went on,
Josh,
like,
and
a
then you had to
hiatus.
drop out.
Yeah, we're talking about cowboys at hardcore shows.
Come on. No, that sucks.
But yeah, so Huntington's played great.
Yeah.
A little slow, but they picked it up. But the thing about their set that cracked me up is they were like, I almost got in for free, even though it wouldn't have worked because it was a prepay thing. But I walked in with these two guys, and Cliffy Hunting was like, "Hey" to them, and he was like, "Hey, come on in, Tony." And I was like,
Okay.
and I was like,
I'm Tony
no,
tonight.
he just looked at me. He's like, "How you doing, man?" I'm like, "I'm great. I have said 3 words to you." And he was there like, "That's not Tony." And I was like, he was like, "Yeah, they're on the guest list."
You're like, oh, I'm doing good. You don't have to pretend to recognize me.
I was like, "Fuck,
That's
man.
why I like Blitzkid. They don't pretend to recognize me.
Fuck, man. If this wasn't a prepay thing, I probably would have got him for free just for pretending to be Tony."
Then you got to suss out what Tony's like from other people.
Well, the other guy turned around. He's like,
What if it was Tony?
Yeah, that would have been fucking wild. No, actually, the dude in front of me turned around. He's like, "You don't want to be Tony." I was like, "All right, that's good. Thank you. That's good information."
I'm glad you told me because I was thinking about it. Listen, I can see from the look on your face you're considering being Tony right
Yeah.
now. Don't do it.
Which really makes you wonder if it was Tony.
Tony.
Like my friend Tony.
Oh, that Tony.
Yeah. I doubt it. But yeah, like, and then the thing that cracked me up about their set is like they were like, "Yeah, come on, come close." You know, they're trying to get people to come stand closer together. And this one young dude was like, and they were like, "Yeah," and they always have people come up on stage and sing with them. So people are crowding on stage, and this dude's going like this, like telling people he's getting ready to stage dive. and I've got my earbuds in, and it's funny because I could hear. I was like, "Don't do it," and I started laughing because I hear myself. Don't do it, man. They're not looking at you. Boom! He took these two guys out. They were just standing in the, like, why are you standing here talking to each other? I don't know. But this dude just fucking planched these two guys. I'm like, dude, they're not looking, man. Maybe you can't see, but he took these two dudes out.
When you're that age, man, you're not supposed to go out like that.
Nah, that's how you break a hip.
Yeah, yeah.
But someone is still nursing
Yeah.
that bump.
And then when Goaty Hook played,
Did they do Banana Man?
no.
I thought I was making like a stupid ass
No,
reference.
they didn't play Banana Man.
I thought for sure they would have done.
They didn't play
Banana
Banana Man. They played what I liked was they played a lot of stuff off the records the late records that I wasn't into them when they they were broken up by the time I even
That
went
wasn't
back
what
and
anybody else was there to see either.
No, I mean they played a good. They really played a good mix. But like I thought they were going to be like, oh, we're just going to play the old early stuff because because nobody cared about that later.
I
stuff.
think it would have been really funny if Goaty Hook came out and played nothing but Slick Shoes songs, or like Craig's Brother,
Right.
just like some other band. See if anybody notices.
But they played a lot of older stuff. They had some guests, like they had their original guitarist that wrote a lot of Sumo Surprise. He like lives a couple blocks away.
Oh,
because he said something. There's a recording studio somewhere really close to you,
huh.
and he runs it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and he was like, he came out and he played some songs with them, and then his wife came. It was like it's all cool, but they played that really fast song off Banana Man. Anyways, but they were like, all right, guys. They were like, all right, you 40 and 50-year-olds, I want to see you guys move. And they're like, it's time to mosh.
Really fast?
Yeah, it's like in the middle of the record. I forget the name. Oh. And he's just screaming. The Middle Ground. Middle Ground. That's what it was.
I don't know if I remember that song.
Yeah. And he's like, I want to see you all move. And dude, no lie, it was a 25, 30-second circle pit. And everybody was fucking gassed. It was so funny. It was so fun. I'm laughing. I was cracking up. And then, like, I'm in the Old School Tooth and Nail Facebook group. And people were just like, that was the fun. Everybody was like, that was the funniest thing, was how it. Like, it was a bunch of 50-year-olds clutching their chests and catching their breath after like 30 seconds. It was so funny.
But they got it in though. Mm-hmm. They got their steps in.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And then they played their last song. Walk off stage. People were out here chanting, "Good play." I think it's dumb that bands have to do this, and they didn't prepare for it because they came back and they were like, "All right, guys, thank you for wanting to hear one more song, but here's the problem: we don't know any more of our songs." We literally played all the songs we know of ours, and people are yelling stuff out, and they're like, "No, I don't know. No, he doesn't know that one."
Was it a bit?
No, they legit did not know any more of their songs. Like they played.
That's why you just don't play all of them, and then you leave, and then you come back and do an encore.
And someone goes, "Play Shrinky Dinks again." They were like, "Okay."
So they just played the same song again. All right, why not?
It was pretty good. But listen to this fucking thing. You might not even. I don't even know if you know the band. There's a show in July or September, I don't know, in Philly. Blaster the Rocket Man. It's playing in fucking Philly in July.
I don't know why that sounds familiar.
They're a Christian horror sci-fi band. Probably came across them.
Probably at some point.
Yeah.
Not super familiar, though.
Yeah, they're kind of like... They have a real Dead Kennedys weird sound.
Oh. Like Jello-style lyrics?
Yeah,
or vocals?
Yeah, that would be the closest comparison.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
fucking wild.
Yeah, that is very
They were
unexpected.
from Colorado and shit. Like, I was like the only person that
I
ever
could see him play in Denver then.
Well,
But, like,
the guy who's playing guitar is from Speedy Delivery, and they were a Philly band, so I think that's...
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there was a connection.
Yeah, I think that maybe...
Okay.
This just blew my fucking mind. I'm like...
They're like, let's do a reunion tour. 3 cities. Only the cities that we have somebody there that we can stay with.
Yeah, I can't believe that they're playing a show. It's wild.
That's crazy. I don't even know how crazy it is, but it sounds crazy.
It's just weird that like this band from like
I mean, look,
it truly is the age of the 90s band reuniting. Apparently, if you had any modicum of success back then, if you ever shipped a CD through the mail, you can do a reunion tour.
the 90s was the era of the 70s bands reuniting. So we're just
I guess
moving on
I
down
guess,
the line.
but like yeah, but it's like across the board it seems. There's like no I hear nothing about a 90s band reuniting and it's not like a big deal to people. You know, it's not like I don't know, it's like from the smallest band to like the biggest
like
names.
the big headliners.
They're
Yeah.
like, people are all stoked for it. It's weird.
Speaking of bands, just bands. Nothing about what I'm going to say
Okay.
actually relates to anything specifically we've been talking
Uh-huh.
about. Just found out who John Stamos plays for.
Beach Boys.
How did I not know that
Yeah.
John Stamos played for the Beach Boys?
Yeah, did you see his Drumeo video?
Yeah, that's how I found out.
that's how I found out the same way
Oh,
just
yeah?
the other day, yeah.
I was like, wait, John Stamos is going to play Papa Roach, having never heard it before? Sign me the fuck up. And then I saw his drum kit, and I'm like, is he Dutch? Because it's the red, white, and blue, but it's the, like, bands
Yeah.
stacked vertically
Very
down the drums.
yeah,
and I'm
very
like, that's the flag of the Netherlands, guys. Like, what's going on? And then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's red, white, and blue because it's supposed to be, okay, he plays for the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Explains everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no idea, but they were a big part of Full House.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
he's their fucking drummer now when they play.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking wild. I said riled.
Wow.
Fucking Russell coming out of me.
I love those Drumeo videos. Those are so good.
Oh, they're really fun. Who is the younger black girl that they've had on a couple of times? I don't remember her name or what band she plays for, but she's always a lot of fun. I think they've had her on like twice.
Who was Chad Smith? Who did he do? I forget who it was.
God. I don't remember.
I
I'm gonna look
forget.
it up,
Chad
though.
Smith was really good because they were like, "You want to do it again?" He was like, "Absolutely not. I nailed it."
I do remember that. No, I don't want to do that again.
Was it System of a Down?
It might have been. I know that they've done System of a Down with 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
"30 Seconds to Mars."
Okay.
Oh,
It was
they
co-
also did one with him doing "Bring Me the Horizon."
Was it Greg Bissonette? Greg Bissonette, I think. System of a Down.
Maybe. I watched a reaction video recently where a dude listened to System of a Down. He'd never heard System of a Down before, and he was listening to the entirety of Toxicity. And I'm like, oh, fucking buckle up, dude. And he was one of those, like, rap fan listens to System
Yeah.
of a Down for the first time, and I always love watching those because everybody's always shocked that it's good. like they'll listen to System of a Down or Rage Against the Machine or like any of those other bands that you would think that you would recommend to a hip hop head who might be interested in metal a little bit and
Yeah.
rock. And they're always like, oh my god, these guys got fucking bars and they can play and the music has layers. It's like hip hop. Only different. And it's like, yeah, it's music, guy.
Yeah.
You could find an appreciation for pretty much anything. I own the Shags on LP.
thought about.
I bought it having never heard them before because I found it really, really cheap, and
Yeah.
even like represses of it, most of them tend to go for quite a bit. And I only bought it because it was like so many different like famous like musicians like on their like top albums lists.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
they were like, yeah, it's definitely not for everybody. And these girls had no idea what the fuck they were doing, but they still got a record pressed. And honestly, it's really fascinating. And I'm like, oh, it sounds right up my alley.
Yeah.
It's bad and interesting.
Uh-huh.
That they made it for me. I made a cryptic statement to Josh before you got here.
Okay.
That I had news in the spending money I don't have department.
All right.
I broke down and bought a Steam Deck.
Uh-huh.
I don't have it yet. It's going to get here tomorrow. But
I got mine like a year ago.
I've been watching the refurb page because they rarely put any up. And as you would expect, they even more rarely put up the OLED 1 terabyte
Yeah,
model.
right.
But I happened to be just at work, refresh the page just to see what would pop up. And it comes up, add to cart. And I'm like, do I have $519.99 to spend on a Steam Deck right now? Not really, no. No, I don't. However, how long is it going to be before this deal presents itself again? And it is like 20% off of the price of... because it's like $650 usually.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's over the line. 520 is kind of pushing it, but I'm like, if I'm going to get one, I might as well just get it. So I ordered it. I'm thinking about just replacing my desktop with it. Because, like, the newest hardware on my desktop is, like, 7 years old at this point. So, like, I feel like I'm going to want to replace it soon anyway. And I'd rather do it with a $500 PC that I can take with me easily than build another big tower.
I love it.
The only thing I'm worried about is whether I'm going to be able to get away with transcoding stuff on it. Because every so often I do need to go through and transcode some video.
Yeah, I don't really couldn't speak to that.
I'll put it through its paces when it comes in. I think Handbrake is out for... there's a Linux version of Handbrake, I think.
My desktop's so old that I can't make the jump to Windows 11 now.
Doesn't
So
have to
I
be
am,
that old.
Yeah,
Really?
no.
Yeah.
Windows 11 does have pretty hefty requirements for an operating system.
Yeah, pretty arbitrary
Yeah.
security stuff too.
And yeah, I decided a long time ago I'm just not going to do Windows 11. So when support runs out for Windows 10, I was just going to kick over to Linux anyway. So I figured, hey, another point in the favor of the Steam Deck.
I took my old.
Reminds me.
I put a desktop together for Dee that she ended up never really caring to use, and I never got rid of it. And I got all this new hardware from work that I got to have somehow hooked up and easy access to. So I ran out of room on my desk. So I took my CRT monitor and I hooked that up to that old PC. And I got like my little 90s gaming
That's awesome.
emulation thing. It's pretty fun.
I spent 3 weeks setting up the ultimate DOS-box system
Yeah.
on an Intel NUC.
Uh-huh.
And then realized that the ExoDOS project exists, and you can just download
it's done.
all of the games
Yep.
already set up to use with DOSBox in like one torrent.
Yep.
And then realized that the archive.org repo that I had been downloading my games from and then like taking the disk image from it and installing it manually in DOSBox was the ExoDOS repository. And I got real sad. But they also have a Windows 3.1 setup as well, because Windows 3.1 is pretty easy to run under DOSBox. I think I'm probably going to grab that and add it to the games that I installed manually for DOS.
You know what's bullshit? SimCity 2000. Fucking installed that. Pissed me off.
Why?
Well, the game makes no goddamn sense. Hey, you gotta set up you have to set up a fucking... Let's see. You have to set up, like, an airport. Your people demand an airport. And then the plane dives right into the city. Happened, like, 3 times.
And then people are bitching about the fires,
Yeah.
and you're like, you literally told me to do this.
Shitty fire department that I defunded doesn't really do anything to take care of the fires.
Okay.
I wonder why.
I mean, look, I lowered taxes and I paid the police less, and you know what? We're crime free, so I said, you know what? Okay, maybe we can defund the firemen.
Yeah, you can defund the police.
Yeah.
You don't want to defund the
There's
fire
a reason
department.
that second one never really took off.
Nobody's going around saying defund the firemen. The firemen don't come in and shoot your dog, though.
Yeah, true.
That's really the bar.
Yeah.
SimCity 2000 was one of the first computer games I remember playing.
Oh, wow.
But I had no idea how to play it. So I would just, like, go to the pre-built cities and unleash hell upon them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing some of that. I got... your classic shooters.
You get Ion Fury.
Yeah, I got
You
that.
played that at all?
Yeah,
I've been thinking about getting that.
it's pretty good. It's pretty fun. I was playing Blood, which I
Nice.
never played back in the day.
Blood is a weird
That game is hard as fuck.
Yep.
It's really goddamn
And
hard.
just the weapons in general.
Yeah,
very
not very
strange.
helpful.
Yeah, like flare gun. Okay, sure. It's a gun. It's just a unique twist on a gun, right? No. You shoot them and they catch on fire and run at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what I expected.
Sticks of dynamite. Crawling out of your grave with a pitchfork.
Why not? How else would you get out of the grave?
Well, I mean, I didn't use the pitchfork to open it, and then I just jumped out, so...
That's true. Well, did you see what happened before you jumped out?
With the devil and the woman and all that at the beginning?
Oh yeah, I guess they do show you. Maybe they just cut out the part where you dug yourself out with the pitchfork.
They did. Somehow you dug it out without
Yep.
taking the top off the...
Look,
It's a build engine game.
it was the 90s and it was a build engine game.
No, I was a big Shadow Warrior Duke Nukem guy back in the... Shadow Warrior was my shit. I really loved that game.
That game was fucking hilarious.
Who wanted some wang?
Did you play the
Definitely of the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you play the newer game?
I
that came
have
out
it.
with like 2018.
Yeah, I
or
played
something
her.
like
I
that?
think I played a little bit of it, but
It plays well.
yeah.
It just doesn't have the same
Yeah, it's just
charm as the original.
Man who
one.
fart in church, sit in un pew.
I remember the first remake going pretty well.
I think it
I
did.
didn't hear
yeah.
too much about the
Yeah, there were like
second one.
3, like
Oh.
2 sequels, I think.
Oh shit! I didn't even know about those.
Yeah.
I've been playing Oblivion, which
I just don't know if...
You don't know if you want it to not be janky.
No, I just...
it's plenty janky.
yeah, no, I just...
What am I talking
all
about?
I
It's a
did was-
Bethesda game.
I just put...
Slap an engine on top of the old engine.
I just spent so much time in that game that I don't know if... I mean, I guess over 10 years have passed.
Mm-hmm. I remember coming over to your house and you were playing it though.
Yeah, like I
you
played the
a lot
fuck
of
out of that game. I never finished the DLC. The Shivering Isles especially. That was the one that I wanted to play, but I was fed up with the game and I never got around to.
I only ever played the intro of it. Of the original
Uh-huh.
Oblivion.
I don't think I ever touched Oblivion. It's the only one.
It was one of the first Steam games I got. And I made it out of the store, and I couldn't figure out where the fuck to go. I was like, alright, maybe I'll try this again in a couple years. and I just played Skyrim instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Skyrim didn't come out. It came out relatively shortly after.
Yeah.
And everybody's been playing Skyrim ever
Yeah.
since.
Well, what's old is new again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I never played any of the Skyrim DLC.
Me neither.
I think
I was fed up with it by the time the DLC came
I
out.
think I messed around with the first one maybe, and then that was done.
Played a lot of the base game.
Yeah.
Never finished the story, but
I don't remember. I did.
that was the only one I spent any appreciable amount of time playing. Too.
Oh, I played the shit out of Morrowind and then Oblivion.
I got killed by a mud crab immediately when I started playing Morrowind and decided it wasn't
Morrowind's
for
hard
me.
as fuck to wrap your head around.
See what? Oblivion scares the shit out of me.
Yeah?
There is something about the character models now. Their eyes are just very fucking unsettling.
Oh.
And like I'll look on YouTube and they'll do like side by sides of like the original graphics and the new graphics. And I'm like, wow, things were so much less terrifying.
Yeah.
I Dark Elf eyes, holy shit.
I was going to say, why would they do that? But then I remembered, once again, it's a Bethesda game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would they do that is kind of their mantra.
I mean-
Bethesda. Why would they do that?
Yeah.
The world itself looks amazing. The characters scare the piss out of me. It borders along horror gaming for me.
Wow.
Yeah, I played a fuck ton of Oblivion, but Morrowind was... I would replay Morrowind if they brought that back out in a heartbeat.
Huh.
Just because it... I can't say that I would enjoy it like I did, but... If I could recapture that feeling, that would be awesome. Because I love the fuck out of Morrowind.
Morrowind was my favorite zone in ESO. But when I watch like videos of the actual game, I feel like I'm too far removed from it to like be able to go back to it.
You
and
might
be like,
be-
yeah,
yeah.
which sucks because I hear it's potentially the best Elder Scrolls game.
It's a lot of people's favorite, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. It really is. But like, after like starting with Oblivion, they made things easier, and the systems didn't make a lot of. I don't honestly have much memory of why they didn't make a lot of sense. But it was all the early Elder Scrolls style game, just with a new coat of paint. So it's. But like Morrowind was the game that I really felt like if you could think about it, you can do it. It was like Breath of the Wild in that regard. Like, I fucked up the original quest line. There's no way, like, at some part you have to go visit. There's a pyramid floating above the main city, and there's a god up there. And you can't complete the main quest line, beat the big bad, unless you can visit him. But I fucked up my chance to get up there. Like, totally can't. There's no way to do it. Unless you brute force your way into, spend hours and hours and hours learning how to jump. So you can jump really fucking high, because it's an Elder Scrolls game, so the more you do something, the better you get at it. Max out your jump, and then do some wild ass shit to get a fly spell powerful enough to get up there. It's like really hard to do, but I was able to do it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm up here, and the god's like, dude, who are you? And I killed him. And I took the MacGuffin thing that I needed.
You did all of that just to murder Hobo.
Yeah. But I got the MacGuffin to go like into the volcano and kill the bad guy. So I beat the game, and I didn't
You
have
killed
to
the bad guy, but you killed the good guy to get to do
I
it.
did. Yeah, I did. I did. You know.
Is Morrowind where they destroy Vivek City?
Yes. I think. Well, Vivek's the god that I killed, so maybe it's my fault.
You killed Vivek?
Yeah. Hell yeah. No. Yeah, that's the one. That's the fellow.
I don't know who that is, but Josh sounds really upset
No,
about
that was
it.
the guy.
So he must have been cool.
Fucking.
I don't
Floating
know.
pyramid.
Maybe at that point in time he was a piece of shit.
I don't think he was. I think I was.
He was just upset because Ken broke into his home.
Yeah, I think it was just I was determined to beat this game and not start over.
You showed up in his celestial realm uninvited.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be able to do that.
I mean, in ESO, he just chills in like a pyramid that's still connected to the city.
Yeah,
That's what I would
So-
do.
Yeah, his was just floating above the city in Morrowind.
Yeah, it's
If I had my druthers, I'd just hang out in a pyramid connected to the city.
but I mean, ESO's like a couple hundred years before
Oh, so it's before
the
it took
actual
off.
games. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
so he left.
Yeah, he pieced out.
He was like, I'm done with all this
The one
bullshit.
DLC was really fun where you went to like the Norse area and you're dealing with werewolves. I had a lot of fun with that too. Yeah, really good stuff in Morrowind. I would love. I don't even want a remaster. I think an actual remake would be better than a remaster in that regard because it's.
You're not going to get it.
Oh yeah, and it's never gonna happen.
It's never going to happen. They might do a remaster.
I fucked up Oblivion pretty royally to begin with because I didn't understand like the leveling and all that shit. So like I will sneak everywhere and my sneak goes up and up and up. And then I finally like started leveling up and like I've got like 10 levels.
Just from sneaking around.
Just sneaking around and killing shit.
Okay.
Well,
Look, you managed to kill something. You got one up on me for sure.
the thing is, when you pick up like armor, when you pick up gear in Oblivion, it stays the level you pick it up.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't realize I wasn't leveling up because I wasn't sleeping. You need to sleep to get your levels.
Okay.
So I'm picking up level 1 gear like over and over and over again. And then I finally level up, and I'm like, alright, I'm going to go and do like more of the main quest. And I go to Kvatch, where you go into an Oblivion portal. And after you like break out of that Oblivion portal, you know, you got to go like into the city and lead people around the city and keep them alive to have like better outcomes and stuff. But because I fucked up and like leveled up before doing this mission, they were throwing like god tier day trap me, like Daedros and
Because everything levels to you.
yeah. Except you know what didn't level?
Your
the
gear.
NPCs.
And your gear,
and the
right?
gear. So, it got to the point where I was like, I just have to fucking swallow my pride and turn this on easy mode.
Yeah.
So I can like run around and one-shot everything before it kills the people I'm supposed to get from point A to point B. Because I was trying to like save scum it for like half an hour. And if I was like, yeah, you know what, it's not worth it. Are there difficult related achievements? No. Alright.
Yeah, that was probably my
that was a
mistake.
wake-up call.
I probably should have set it on easy when I played, because I had never played an Elder Scrolls game
Yeah.
before at that point, so I really didn't know what I was doing. And it does say easy mode is best for beginners.
Yeah.
I was a beginner. Didn't want to admit that. Then I went up and punched a mud crab, and it ate me.
There's some really good remakes out now. In the RPG realm. Like Suikoden series just came out. 1 and 2 just got remade. Not remade, remastered, I should say.
I saw that pop up too, but it was like $40.
Yeah, I'm not paying that for it.
Ooh. I mean, it's still cheaper than the original games.
And the Lunar 1 and 2 just got
Oh,
re-released.
Lunar was good.
Yeah.
Lunar was very good. I tried to play the Suikoden games back in the day because, like, even before I was, like, into collecting, before, like, games got super expensive, Suikoden 2 was expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, it was always expensive.
Always expensive. So I was like, well, if people are willing to pay that much for this game, when, like, actually rare games are selling for, like, $20 and $30, there's got to be something to it, but I didn't get my head around it.
I played the first one. It's cool because, like, there's a whole 108 characters to collect.
Hmm.
And they like some you can be in your party and some just head to your base and do things at your base to prop up your army. The battle system's really quick because you do select all your commands. They all just happen. Like, you don't have to wait for one to do.
Okay.
Everybody acts. It's very fast.
Okay.
But what's really neat is it's the first that I know of. Probably not the first, but console game where you can import your save data from the first game into the second game, and it matters. And then, actually, if you put your PS1 memory card into your PS2 with Suikoden 3, you can import your save data cross generations too.
That's
so
pretty
like
cool.
You can make, I think up to 4. I don't think 5. I think 5 was standalone. But I think you can import it at 4 too. But yeah, those games are. I really like the first one, and I just never took the time to play the second one. Very good, excellent.
I've been playing Breath of Fire for Super Nintendo. Well, I've been playing it on Game Boy Advance, though.
Yeah. Same, similar overhead point of view. That's what we can do.
Yeah?
That 3/4
Oh, yeah.
battle system thing.
Oh, okay. I remember really, really, really liking Breath of Fire back in the day, to the point where we actually called, like, the tip line without my parents' permission.
Yeah.
To get hints on getting past a certain point, because, like, we didn't have a strategy guide and didn't have the internet either. And they told us what we had to do, and we were like, well, that's bullshit, it doesn't make any sense. And they were like, yeah, you're right, bye. And we finally beat it, and it was a very good memory for me, and I never played the second game. And I was like, the second one's supposed to be really good. And I remember playing the third one on PS1 and enjoying what I played of that, although I didn't finish it. So I'm like, you know what? I want to play through Breath of Fire 1 through 3. I'm not super concerned about 4, although people say that's good too, and I definitely don't care about
5's bad.
Yeah. I played... Okay. I think I played like 15 minutes of that game, but it took me like 45 minutes to do it.
Yeah.
So was not really having it. But yeah, I kind of wish that I had just played the Super Nintendo version, though, because I got a decent chunk of the way into the game, and then I'm like, well, I want to look something up quick. They changed all the names of shit for the GBA version, and all the facts are for the Super Nintendo version. Yeah. And a lot of the stuff on, like, GameFAQs even, if you look under the ones for Game Boy Advance, a lot of them are just a copy-paste of the Super Nintendo one.
And it's funny because
and you can't just do that.
They did that because of complaints. Because all the items and shit, you didn't even know what they were in the first game because everything was so truncated.
It's not like they renamed it in a way that makes sense, though. Like, there's still, like, the B.STN.
Yeah.
What is that? It says, for the description, can be used in battle. All right, cool. Cool, I'm glad that you can use it in battle. I'm not going to, though, because I don't know what the fuck it is. Also, for the early part of that game, once you get the earthquake key, just have your weakest character use that every turn in battle. It's like a guaranteed 30 damage against anything.
Nice.
It really wasn't a well put together RPG, but I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
I saw Balatro was added to PlayStation Plus yesterday.
Ooh. Did you get it?
I have fallen down that rabbit hole.
Dude, that game is so fucking good. And infuriating, but good.
It is very infuriating.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But I think about it when I'm not playing it, too.
Yep. Do you ever watch Pure Ponage? The Canadian web show?
I've seen it, but I don't keep up with it.
The main character in that show was like a huge, like, RTS guy back in the day. So, like, he'd be talking about, like, build orders, and they'd be, like, at the park, and he'd just be scratching build orders into the dirt with a stick. And, that's kind of what that's like when you play a game like Balatro, and you're just, in your head, you're just like, okay, so, like, what if I had really focused on like converting all my cards to diamonds early on in the run. Like I got this specific Joker, and that means I need to start turning everything into.
Before I left, like 2 runs before I left,
Oh yeah, there's always that one more.
I was converting everything to hearts, and man, I was breezing right through, and I was like, all right, this is gonna be a clear. I'm gonna clear on this
I'm
deck.
getting there.
Sure enough, that last fucking boss blind, hearts are nerfed.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes, and you're suddenly fucked.
I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I have turned so many cards into hearts. I've like destroyed so many non-hearts.
When you say hearts are nerfed, do you mean like hearts don't do anything?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're fucked.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does shit like that. You'll build your whole deck around. And also, the idea of a deck builder using like playing cards is amazing, and I don't know why nobody's done it before. But they will just let you do whatever, and then say that thing you built your entire deck around is just null and void for this fight. Have fun.
I was having like another really good run, and I still don't understand what happened, because like the boss blind was like, you can't repeat the same hand, and I didn't. But anytime I would click one card, it would like give me credit for a pair for just one card. And even if I would like click for a straight, it would still have it set up saying this won't score because it's a pair. And I have no idea, like I don't know
like
if I had some kind of I don't know if it was a bug or if like my jokers were fucking something up some way.
It sounds like there might have been a bug like with one of your jokers. That's fucking
have no
weird.
idea. And I was so bummed because that run was going so fucking smooth. I've only got one fucking win, and oh man.
Yeah, I don't have too many wins on it either. I haven't played like a shitload of it in a long time, but when I first got it, constantly on the Balatro. Casey took about a week to ask me what I was playing. She's like, what is that game that you're playing all the time? And I'm like, Balatro. And she's like, do you think I would like it? And I'm like, yeah, I think you'd like it too much. I think you'd like it way too fucking much because there's no real-time action in it, and that's the only thing that she doesn't really like.
Yeah.
Like, she'll play Breath of the Wild, and she does everything that she can to avoid combat. She'll sit and throw bombs at a bunch of bokoblins for like 20 minutes instead of going down and fucking them up with the Master Sword in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because she got the Master Sword.
Right.
She could just go, it's fully charged. She could go down and kill him, but no.
I get it, because for the most part, I will lean towards like a turn-based RPG.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over
Absolutely.
an action RPG.
Yeah, same, honestly.
I mean, there are exceptions to the rules. Like, I fucking loved The Witcher. I loved Dragon Age. Although, I guess the earlier ones could have been turn-based. But
Were they?
I don't remember.
there was a way to like set them up in tactical mode or something.
When I play Fallout 3 or New Vegas or 4, I use VATS almost constantly.
Yeah, same.
That was a big reason I didn't want to play Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because even when you use
fucking
VATS...
loved it.
Yeah, even when you use VATS, though, like, there is, like... You come out of it, and then it's real-time again.
That's why I'm really hyped to check out that Clear Obscure Expedition 33 game that's out right now.
Oh.
Everybody's saying it's fucking the best turn-based RPG in a long time.
Oh, even better than Cthulhu Saves the World?
Yes.
There are some videos I see for it that I'm like, I kind of just want to throw my money at it.
Yeah.
And then there are other ones where I'm like,
I know.
Maybe it's not my thing.
That's how I feel. Like, Matt from our D&D group was like, hey, he was like, you got enjoyment out of Final Fantasy 16 somehow. You're going to love this.
If you somehow liked Final Fantasy 16... I haven't played a second of a Final Fantasy game since, like... 10.
And
the
the thing about this Clear Obscure game, it's like Final Fantasy 10. But in like, the little bit I know is just from people gushing about it on Discords and one, but it's like Final Fantasy X in some like artistic rendition of France's history or some shit. I don't know.
Oh wow.
With a little Persona stuff in there.
Well, that
Yeah,
sounds interesting.
It
supposed
definitely
to be
gave
really-
me like Persona vibe.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I didn't really care for like the QuickTime events that I kept seeing pop up.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like
I'm not a big Q2.
I know.
guy.
I'm like, I'm like, yeah. I do. I kind of want to pay full price to check it out. Yeah, but also like,
Kind of know.
kind of know. Like, if
Yeah.
it's getting this much praise, like, and probably price might dip at some point.
It will.
You know.
Yeah, give it
By
a
the time I'm
year.
ready to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. There have been plenty of games that you pick up on Steam
Yeah.
full price when it comes out.
You don't touch it.
You don't touch it at all, and
Yeah.
by the time you play it, and you're like, I could have got this for $5.
Yeah.
I could have got it for free.
Yeah.
There's a bot set up in a Discord that I'm a member of.
I set that up on my
Yeah,
that I'm the only member of. Just
and it'll just tell you,
my
hey,
test Discord.
this is free on GOG today. This
Yep.
is free on Epic today.
Yeah, that's how I got Skywalker Saga Lego on May 4th. The whole fucking thing. It was free. That was pretty cool.
Huh.
Those games are fun.
I think I might have already had that. Never played it. But
Yeah, I played a Lego game or two in my time.
I think I played like the Wii
You probably played
Star Wars, the original
Did you have
trilogy
Lego Batman?
Lego.
on Wii.
Mm-mm.
Okay, because that's one of the games you needed to hack your Wii back in the day.
Really?
So
Wow.
I can see. That's how I played it. That's how I played a Lego game. I was like, well, I have this.
I think I actually might have used Lego Indiana Jones to do that.
Okay. That makes sense.
It's weird that well, I guess it's not that weird that two Lego games, because they were probably built on the same engine.
Yep.
Probably had the same save game system.
What's weird is that Tony Hawk games have been used to hack like every major system.
Oh yeah. Well, if you're gonna look for an exploit, you're gonna look in one of the most popular games.
Yeah.
Like, I think the one that I used to hack my OG Xbox was like the original Splinter Cell.
Yep, that's what I used.
But it was like the Platinum Edition you had to get.
I don't know. That's
Something like
what I
that.
used though.
I was mad because that meant I had to have the Platinum Edition on my shelf.
Yeah, like Tony Hawk 2 or 3 had the save exploit for PS2. I think there was one for PS3, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong about that. And then they recently figured out a way to use it for PS1.
Oh, wow.
So you don't need a mod chip. And then somebody just figured out a way to do it on Xbox 360.
Yeah.
So it's like
Well, the Xbox 360 one, it's actually really funny because it was Tony Hawk's Underground.
underground, yeah.
That was the game that you needed to do it. It was the only like U.S. region
Yep.
game that could do it.
Or a rock. There was a Rock Band game demo.
It was
I
a
think
Rock
there was a
Band
Rock
demo.
Band demo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
But the
Tony Hawk was
price-
the only game you could buy.
The price for Tony Hawk Underground went like through the fucking
Yeah, for like a
roof.
week.
It stayed there because people
don't need it.
people had bought up all the cheap copies and they were not willing to let
Yeah.
them go cheap.
Even though
So-
somebody figured out you don't even need the game like a week later.
Yeah. So like, I
thought
hope
about
nobody
doing
was actually paying those prices and those people got fucked.
I didn't
because
think about
why
selling it.
would you do that?
I went to Second and Charles to see if I could buy it so I could do it before it, but it wasn't there, and then
Yeah.
it was already sky high on eBay at that point.
Man,
they were-
Charles
we-
probably put it in the display case as soon as that
Yeah,
exploit came
they're
out.
at the old Toys R Us now,
Hmm.
and we just went there.
They needed more floor space.
That's smaller. It's smaller. It's
Oh, so they just had to move because the mall was getting knocked
Yeah.
down?
But we went there just to look around, and they were having a penny a page book sale. I mean, yeah, sure, that sounds like a good deal, but
But if you're reading like 800-page novels...
the line was around the whole store.
Really?
Shit.
For a penny a page, for like a $3 book.
Like if a book has like 300 pages, it's like $3.
That's not that great of a deal.
No.
At Second and Charles.
Yeah, like
Maybe they were all just.
I don't know.
They all just wanted to buy like children's books for really cheap.
It was wild, man.
Like technically,
I wasn't expecting.
C-Spot Run is only like 16 pages.
Yeah,
so-
right. So I don't know. It was fucking wild. I was like,
That's crazy.
No deal. Did you see? People are crazy because did you see the new chicken place on 22?
Yeah.
You know where Kmart used to be on 22?
Oh, is it a Church's chicken?
No.
Raising Cane.
Raising
Cane's.
Cane's, that's what it was.
You know where
yeah.
the Kmart was on
Yeah.
22? Dude, that whole fucking parking lot was full.
I saw a picture of it.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Too.
I could.
Nothing.
Sounds like a
I
good
was-
day to go to Popeyes.
Across the street.
Like-
Chick-fil-A now, across the street.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that chicken. It's not worth that.
There's no way.
No.
There's no fucking way. It's chicken.
It's chicken.
It's fucking chicken.
I like chicken.
Well, like that's what I always say to people who are like, yeah, I know that Chick-fil-A is a shitty company and they fund a lot of things that like do a lot of harm to people, and I'm like, yeah, it's why I don't eat there.
Yeah.
Like maybe once a year, I'm like, I'll allow myself to get
Yeah.
their chicken as a treat if I happen to be near one and want some chicken, but like generally, no, I'm not going to go out of my way and get Chick-fil-A.
Well, now you might have an alternative.
Well, right. But they're like, yeah, but their chicken's so good, and I'm like,
It's not.
it's chicken.
Yeah.
It's just chicken. Go right down the street. Joey's Chicken Shack is down there. I know a guy who used to work there. It's high quality chicken.
Yeah.
They do catering. If you're ordering at work and and people in your company are like, oh, let's get chicken, don't get Chick-fil-A. Get
Yeah.
fucking Joey's. They'll give you a good deal.
It was fucking wild, man. Like I was looking at the picture and I pointed at D. I was like, that car right there. If that was me, that car would be there tomorrow morning because I would get out and take an Uber. There's no way.
Yeah.
No way. Because there's no way to get out of it. It was like, it wasn't just bumper to bumper. It was like a full parking lot
Yeah.
of cars trying to get this place.
Give it a
Yeah,
couple of
I
weeks.
could not.
Just go then.
Yeah.
The staff will
There's no
thank you.
It
Actually,
can't be that good. There's no way it's that good.
I don't know how anyone like maneuvered in there.
Why?
There's gotta be like videos online.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
has to be. Why? I mean, it's crazy.
I'm fucking jonesing some chicken.
Can't get chicken yet.
I cannot get chicken. I don't know. That's so
Fearful of chicken.
When we left off,
Unless we left our
last
hero.
we left off, I think it's been about a month since we
Yeah.
recorded.
Yeah, 3 weeks or a month, something like that.
Yeah, maybe 3 weeks.
It's been a
I
bit.
had I'd like frantically get out of here.
Yes.
I was like, I got to get to a place to buy an enema before the store closes
Yeah.
because I can't shit. I hadn't thought too much of it beyond the fact that I couldn't shit.
When you can't shit, you're not
Yeah.
thinking of much else, honestly.
Like my insides don't work the greatest these days to begin with. Sometimes you just can't shit. Well, I went and I bought a 4-pack of enemas. I got home. I was reading the instructions on the enemas, and I was like, man, these things sound scary. What do you mean I need to go to the hospital if I don't shit in half an hour? I'm like, all right, I'm just going to put the glove on and go to town again, see what happens. And I was able to shit without the enema. But it hadn't been an easy week after that. And when it came time to do Fawlcast again the next week, I think I just texted guys and I was like, look, I can't do this. I feel like shit. 'Cause my insides were fucking hurting. And around that time I started Googling. I was like, alright, I remember a couple years ago they said I had diverticulosis, which I always got lososianitis confused.
Yeah.
Well, now I damn well know the difference. Diverticulosis is when you just have, like, pockets in your
Yes.
intestines.
Oh, okay.
Itis
Is when they get inflamed.
is when they're fucking inflamed and
Yeah.
infected and angry, and you can't shit because they're all fucked up and they just shut your system down, and you gotta go to the hospital to make sure nothing's ruptured or there's not like an abscess, because if there is, you might actually die.
Yeah, you just poison yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So-
just get sepsis.
Yep.
So yeah, a couple days of like 100-degree fever, 101. I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the hospital
Yeah.
Friday morning if things don't feel better. They did feel a little better, but I was still like, you know what? Because of the fever, just in case that's what this is, I'm gonna go. Yo, I got there, not a soul in the ER. First time in my life, man.
Yeah.
If you got to go to the ER, go in the morning, like 8, 9 in the morning.
Yeah, try to frame your emergencies around that time.
Yeah. So, I hung out there for a couple hours. Lady came back and she's like, I think your gallbladder's bad. And I'm like, well, no, because the pain was over there, but like it moved over there, and I'm good over here now. Just the normal soreness. It's like, well, I don't know. It usually doesn't work like that. So your gallbladder might. She's like, just lay back. I'm gonna push, and she's pushing, and she's like fucking gone to town. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's fucking fine, It's like, oh well, I guess your gallbladder's fine. Yeah, I told you the gallbladder didn't hurt anymore. So she starts moving over here and she's pushing down. I'm like, all right, that's the fucking spot right there. It's like, yeah, all right, you need a CT scan. She comes back like half an hour later. She's like, bad news. You have an allergy to the CT contrast, so you're gonna have to wait like 10 hours.
Oh my
shit.
god.
And I'm like, well, here's the thing, okay? When you guys put all those allergies on here, I was in here for sepsis, and I was on, like, a wide spectrum of antibiotics, and they weren't sure what was doing it.
So it was just everything that you had during that period got put on the allergy list.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And she's like, well, okay, so I do have to go over this with you, because I went and talked to the people, and I came back, and you have to understand, if your throat starts swelling shut, because if you have a reaction to the dye, your throat can close, and we might very well not be able to open it, so you'll die. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, whatever. I came here prepared for that to happen anyway.
She's like, all
I'm in the
she's like,
ER.
all right.
I'm in the ER, like,
Yeah.
that's why I'm here, so.
They gotta cover their ass and let you know that you might die.
Don't threaten me with a good time. But she's all excited. She's like, yeah, I think that's a good idea, too.
Alright.
So, yeah.
She's like, yeah, I think you should risk death as well.
They take me back to the fucking thing a couple minutes later. The CT machine's not working.
Oh my fucking God.
I gotta go to another CT room. Take me in there. They put me on. They give me the dye and run me through.
No reaction to the dye.
No reaction. And I'm just like chilling in the bed. Like nobody came and saw me for like half an hour after.
We're sure we know he's dead. So just let him pass. Just let him choke to death.
The one lady that came back was like, well, good news, if you have a reaction, it typically starts in the first 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh, so the time you guys left me alone.
Right.
Yeah, right. You came back expecting me to be dead.
She said, we may not be able to open your throat up if it closes, but what she meant was, we might not try.
I mean, the way she phrased it, this was certain death. I don't know if there's something about ionated contrast reactions that just says, all right, fuck you. But
You're just gone.
yeah, so the actual ER doc comes back like an hour later and she's like, all right, uncomplicated diverticulitis. I'm like, that's the good kind, right? And she's like, well, I mean,
None of it's great.
Complicated sounds much worse. So.
It does. It does.
she's like, no antibiotics for you.
Oh.
Like, even though I've been having fevers. It's like, well, studies show that antibiotics don't necessarily stop things from getting worse, so we're trying to get people off them. And I'm like, yeah, all right, sounds good to me.
Right. Not here to argue with
too
you.
many fucking antibiotics in the world.
Mm-hmm.
She goes over all the diverticulitis bullshit. But she's super fucking excited. Like, she's clapping her hands. She's like, but the best thing about this is now we know that we can get that allergy off your fucking chart. She didn't say fucking, I'm throwing the fuck.
That'd be amazing.
Because she is just hyped,
Ripping this
man.
fucking thing off your chart.
Look, if I worked in the medical profession, I'd be dropping F-bombs left and right. What are they going to do?
It's a great thing when you get this off your chart, because you're going to need a lot of scans in your future. It's like, oh, fuck.
So they got to keep monitoring it and shit.
Well,
Make sure it's not.
I mean, that's kind of the weird thing, because, like... So, there are some people that get diverticulitis once, and typically never becomes an issue again. Then there are people who get it a fuck ton. And after, like, your third or fourth flare-up, they want to cut your fucking colon out.
Yeah, they just start taking pieces out.
Yeah. Because I guess, like, every flare, things get, like, thicker and thicker with scar tissue.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm 3 weeks into this now. I'm uncomfortable at times. And I can't tell if that's because it's not healing as it should, or if, like, the infection can be gone in days, but, like, the inflammation can last months. So it's like, what's going on with me?
God.
So, yeah. I lost like 20 pounds in 4 days. Because when you're released, they're like, you're living off a clear water diet for a couple days. And then you're living off a non-clear water diet for a couple days. And then you can gradually start introducing solids back into your life.
What's non-clear water?
Like apple juice I guess apple juice counts as clear. Right? So like orange juice and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Stuff with a little bit more substance to it.
Yeah, like orange juice, protein drinks, tomato soup.
Okay.
So yeah, I've gotten to the point where I'm like trying to add fiber back into it. Because this is a weird thing, okay? They say that food doesn't cause flares.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, they thought like peanuts and seeds and popcorn would get stuck in those pockets, and that's what caused flares. But it turned out they were wrong about that. They have no idea what causes.
Oh, great.
Fun.
They say like stress, anxiety. Sounds like, oh, wonderful.
Well, joke's on me, I guess.
Yeah. And they're like, so ideally you want to eat a lot of fiber so your shit stays together and doesn't break off and get lost in any pockets. But you can't go right to a lot of fiber because your insides are still all fucked up.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out when it's safe to like make the move.
And then get yourself on fiber.
Yeah.
Ah.
And if you make that move too soon, you might start the whole process all over again.
Ugh.
So yeah,
That's fun.
might end up shitting in my body cavity. And then shitting in a bag.
I love when you go to a medical professional for medical issues and they're like, you have to figure out when it's safe for you to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Like,
Can you not stick something up my ass and tell me when it's safe?
Well, I have to go to my neurologist tomorrow for a unrelated visit. But while I'm there, and it sucks because this is a very nice lady. She's like one of the only doctors that I'd be like, all right, you're one of the good ones. You and this other guy are like the only good ones. But I have to go there and be like, hey, so a lot of the stuff I was coming to you before kind of chilled out. Like, I don't have as much of the numbness or stinging. But for the past couple months, my asshole doesn't work.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
I don't know if my nerves have shut my asshole down.
I guess that's possible, right?
Yeah, it is. And I don't want this wonderful doctor
To have to
stick her finger up my ass and
Yeah,
be
that's what
like,
she's there
yeah,
for."
your asshole's a little too tight, friend. But also, because of my asshole not cooperating with me, there's a very good chance that, like, if a finger goes in there, there's going to be a fucking that comes out.
Oh, man.
Listen, if
like-
there's a place I could go where somebody will stick a finger up my ass and tell me it's tight, I might pay for it. I don't usually pay my medical bills, but for that I might.
And then on fucking Monday, I actually do have an appointment with the gastro. So I have to go in there and be like, hey friend, my asshole isn't working. But I don't like him, and I don't want him to stick anything up my ass. So while it would be suitable punishment, I don't want to put myself through that to this guy who clearly judges me.
It's not that I don't want somebody to put their finger up my ass. It's that I don't want him to do it. I think that's legitimate.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that feeling.
I mean, it's not really it's kind of a lose-lose situation, because if I like you too much, I don't want you to have to go through it.
Right.
If I don't like you, I don't like you for a reason. I don't want to have to put myself through it.
Yeah, it's a middle ground. Just the stranger off the street is what you really need.
Yeah. Like, when Patel
Get
put
on
a
Skip
finger
the
up my
Games and
ass,
find someone to put a finger up your ass.
and that guy hadn't cut his nails. I can feel him through that glove, man.
I have no frame of reference for what that's like, but it can't be
Can't
great.
be good. Can't be good.
What time's Casey get home?
Oh, probably 11.
Does she got nails? Yeah, just throw a finger up your ass. Tell her to check your butthole.
I mean, I got
infection.
nails.
Oh, yeah, you could scratch your own asshole.
I definitely don't think you want to do that.
Don't do that, though.
I think I've said that before. I think I've said I can scratch my own asshole. Probably followed by a thank you very much.
I remember there was a story we talked about on the show like years and years ago about the gay guys who would intentionally like scratch the inside of someone's asshole to pass on the HIV.
There's easier ways to do it. Like, you do that with an old tin can. And not your asshole, I bet.
But where's the fun in that?
Yeah.
Why that turned into Harry Carey?
Come win.
Pope. Gentlemen,
Spock, take a look at this subspace news article. Some fool blew his own face off while cleaning a loaded phaser.
Fascinating, Captain. Was it someone aboard the Enterprise?
No, Spock, it happened in Florida.
states this week.
Oh.
They are Florida, Kentucky, and Wisconsin.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
I've been to all those states. I know everything about them.
Headline number 1. 8-year-old orders $4,000 worth of dum-dums on his mom's phone to share with friends at prizes at carnival he decides to have.
Oh, he's having his own carnival.
Yeah.
Even for a child, that thought process is wild. I'm going to have a carnival for my friends, and I need $4,000 worth of dum-dums.
22 cases, 70,000 dum-dums.
Yeah, they're like the cheapest lollipops you can get.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're always free,
Yeah.
unless you have a
So
kid.
they probably weren't too expensive.
Well, $4,000.
I mean, yeah, 4,000.
That's
a lot.
Imagine
That's
they
more
were
expensive
imagine
to his
they-
mom's credit card.
Yeah, imagine they
Yeah.
were Tootsie Pops though.
That would have done some damage.
My Tootsie might pop tomorrow.
70,000 dum-dums.
Headline number 2. 47-year-old man gored by bison after ignoring signs to stay away from the bison.
Wow.
Headline number 3. 83-year-old woman who went missing in 1962 found alive and well just living in another state.
She's 80 now.
Yeah, 83 now.
Okay. I was like, if she was 83 in the 60s, I
Well-
don't think she's okay.
She went missing when she was 20. And she was like, yeah, I wanted to go missing.
Yeah, because back fucking then, it's not like there were registries and you could just go like 6 miles down the street and nobody knows you to start a new life.
Yeah. Her name was Rebecca.
Yeah.
She shows up. She's like, I'm Rebecca.
Yeah. And everybody's like, oh, your name.
None the wiser.
Nobody was
welcome.
Yeah, no.
Dollar menu?
Oh, man.
This is your first defense. Name that Florida.
And we're talking Florida, Kentucky,
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, yeah.
I'm thinking the lady that wanted to disappear is Wisconsin, because all I can think is if I know people who live in Wisconsin and who are from Wisconsin, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, but I'd probably want to disappear too. I will put... What'd the guy get gored by?
A bison.
Bison. Yeah, I'll put the bison in Kentucky. And so I guess that means the kid with the dum-dums is in Florida. There were no drugs in any of these stories, but...
There weren't.
That kid was on meth.
I mean, look, sugar's close.
Yeah.
Red meat?
All right, so I will put dum-dums in I'll put dum-dums in Kentucky. I will put... It's amazing how quickly you forget. I know I know where the bison is, but what was the third story?
The lady who went missing.
Missing. Okay. Missing lady, Florida, bison, Wisconsin.
Solid
John?
choices, you son of a bitch. I don't know how to be a heel at all.
Well, our winner, I guess by count out, the Dollar Menu Kid.
Yeah.
Neither one of us got it.
He retains, as neither of you got Florida. Florida was the 47-year-old man gored by a bison on vacation in Colorado.
Ah.
So it was a Florida man gored in Colorado. Wisconsin was the 83-year-old, and Kentucky was the dum-dum.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, Kentucky.
Yeah.
So, does that mean I was right about Wisconsin in general? Are we going to take that as validation of my feelings towards Wisconsin?
Well, you said people from Wisconsin.
I said I would want to disappear if I lived in Wisconsin.
Yeah, but it was
too.
Wait, didn't you say
Wisconsin was the disappearance.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood the bison thing.
Wisconsin was the disappearance.
It was a
Florida
Colorado
was the
man
bison.
in Florida. I thought it was Florida man in Colorado.
It was a
Gotcha.
Florida man in Colorado.
That got gored by the bison.
Yes.
Yeah. But that counts as a Florida.
As it,
Somehow.
Did not know.
as it,
In this bullshit.
I did not know that rule was
Well,
a thing.
it's a Florida man.
It is a Florida man.
I did not know that rule.
But I guess we say it happened in Florida.
The game is it happened in Florida, and it didn't. I mean, neither one of us guessed
I
that. Anyway.
call bullshit.
I don't know that I would have put the bison in Colorado anyway.
I did. Wisconsin.
You put it in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Why are we talking about Colorado?
Because that
Listen.
happened in Colorado.
Well, it wasn't even a state.
But it was Florida, because the guy that got gored was from Florida.
I have no
Ken got
idea.
the dum-dum right.
I have no idea what's happening.
Doug got Wisconsin right. Nobody got Florida right.
Okay.
Now it's time for the joke of the week.
Yeah. At the end of the day, nobody got Florida.
Look,
so
we're out of practice, okay? It's been a minute.
Yeah. I was just saying, I don't think if Colorado had been one of the states and that
You
was the
would have
headline
done
for it, I don't think that I would
Okay.
have either. Like, I don't think that I would have particularly made that association.
Here, in its natural habitat, on a tiny islet off the coast of Belgium, we observe the majestic and elusive joke of the week.
Gentlemen, where do the police take someone who tells too many bad jokes?
And they never took me anywhere. They did draw down on me that one time.
Yeah, they did.
That happened.
But you lived to tell the tale.
I did, even though I didn't have the presence of mind to put my hands up where they could see him. I just got a little annoyed with him and told him off a little bit.
Where do the police take someone who tells too many bad jokes?
To the penitentiary.
To the penitentiary.
To the penitentiary. Boom.
Joke of the week, everybody.
Didn't get Florida, but I got the joke of the week.
Thanks for listening.
But you cannot fuck around with...
You're fired, Adam. You're all washed up in this business.